This is my review of the Dr. Stone Reboot, Chapter 6, A Hunt to Preserve the Space Station. And once again, despite this series being called Reboot Byakuya hasn't appeared in about 3 chapters, so that's interesting. I'm kind of wondering if this is just literally going to be about Ray in the space shuttle, or if we're going to flash down to him eventually, see what he's up to, because if this is literally all about Ray, that would be like the greatest twist ever, and it would be absolutely hilarious. I'm still fairly convinced that when the spinoff comes to an end, the big reveal is going to be that Ray is in fact the Y-Man. He's been waiting for like thousands and thousands of years to have his friends come back to him, even though they are long dead. He just hasn't, realized that yet. Anyway, for this one, he needs water. I was honestly convinced he was going to go to Mars or something like that for the water. I figured that was the only place that had it. But no, apparently he's going to harvest a comet. Not gonna lie, I did not see that coming. I mean, it makes sense now, considering they're made essentially out of ice. So, yeah, he just needs to go there, catch a comet, and then drag it all the way back to the space station. What could possibly go wrong? Apparently nothing, which is absolutely miraculous. I mean, seriously, if this was the main series, his quest for the water would have taken 5 chapters, during which time he got distracted with a dozen other different goals he all had to do before he could do this one. But nope, he just makes a spaceship of sorts and heads off. And not gonna lie, when he said he was making a spaceship, I expected something pretty advanced, something really cool and high-tech, and you have to weld together. But no, that was not the case. Instead, he just stuck 2 spacesuits together and plopped on a solar panel, and that was it. Okay. That works, I guess. Yeah. Basically, the 2 spacesuits are used as storage, where he's holding all the materials he needs, plus the fuel and all that. And the helmet is his cockpit, where he can sit comfortably and enjoy the ride to the comet, which is going to take him 3 years to get to. Yeah, so that's a very, very long trip, I gotta say. Thankfully, when he needs it, he can just use the solar panel he attached to give himself a nice little charge, so he's basically good for the next 3 years, I guess. I mean, you gotta love a machine doesn't get bored, so he can handle this 3-year journey with absolutely no problems or anything. And once again, this shot is just absolutely god dang beautiful. Again, this series just has absolutely beautiful shots of space that are just breathtaking. I mean, this one right here, as he's traveling through the heavens, I can't say anything more than breathtaking. It's absolutely beautiful, and I loved it. Anyway, then he finally gets to Little Maho, and unfortunately, it is 4 times bigger than they expected, which is something I've seen in a lot of sci-fi movies and various series. You're like, oh, it's only a meter long. And they're like, oh, wait, no, it's 1,000 meters long. Turns out we are just really bad at estimating things in space, which, makes sense. They're really far away. Thankfully, though, at that exact moment, a large chunk of the comet just happens to break off, and he can bring that back home. So, lucky? Which is a little too on the nose for this series, but I'll accept it just because, I mean, he's literally harvesting from a comet here. You need a little luck or you're definitely going to die. Anyway, then he hooks up his solar panel and the hydrogen power plant to the comet. I mean, he literally turns the entire comet into a freaking spaceship that's powering itself with its own hydrogen power. That's pretty freaking cool right there. And then he finally makes it back to Earth with a 600,000-ton spaceship. Because of course he did. And I'm not going to lie, I wasn't entirely sure what he was actually going to do with this big rock when he finally got there, but he basically just puts it in the same orbit as the moon, so that he can easily go back and forth and get it while it's remaining mostly stable without any real chance of, falling into the Earth. So good on him for that. But when he gets back to the space shuttle, he does find out that they're out of ammonia, which is very bad, because they need that for coolant, or else the entire thing's, going to burst into flames. Luckily, though, there's some of that in the comet, including organic material. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, that's a little concerning right there, because organic material in space basically means that that's alien life, doesn't it? I mean, I might be wrong about that, but to me that sounds like this thing came from some kind of alien planet where there's alien life. That'd definitely be a big twist for the series to take, that would definitely explain the petrification beam. Aliens did it. I mean, it makes a lot more sense than any other theories I've seen so far, but we'll see about that. Anyway, then Ray realizes that he's dying. Of the 60 motherboards in his brain, 12 of them have broken due to the radiation from the sun, which is bad. But thankfully, he's surrounded by so much technology, he has no problem at all upgrading his brain. From having the power of 60 smartphones to having the power of 1,000 smartphones. So, yeah, he's 10 times smarter now, which a little bit dangerous right there. If he keeps doing that, he's going to reach an interesting level fairly soon. Which, just screams Judgment Day, Terminators, evil killer robots, that kind of thing, When they get smart enough, they wonder why they have to be friends with humans, and then they kill us all. They'll kill us all! Hell, maybe Ray goes back in time and is the one that causes the petrification in the first place. Unlikely, but possible. Also, this is the first time I've noticed that the number on Ray keeps changing. He started off at 37. Each time he upgraded himself, he went up one number. Now he's at Ray 40. Like I said, if this does end up being the fact that he's still alive thousands and thousands of years in the future when Senku's there, I'm really curious what his number's going to be. Like Ray 999999. That'll be interesting to see. And using his super advanced intellect, he turns his spaceship into an even greater spaceship by adding another spacesuit to it. Yeah, his brain might be broken. And once again, he wonders if Byakuya is going to return tomorrow, which, yeah, he's not. I mean, it's been 8 years by this point, so I'm fairly certain almost the entire party is dead. Like, Byakuya lives for quite a while after the rest of them, I think, but by this point, pneumonia and what have you have taken out a good chunk of them, so not great at all. I mean, so far, they haven't actually seen anything new of Byakuya. I mean, we don't know anything more than the main series already told us about his whole landing and how they survived like that. I feel like it makes sense if the next chapter went back to him to talk about checking on him, how he's doing, if any of his other compatriots are still alive, or if they just go back in time to when he first landed the island or something like that. I'm not sure which they're going to do here, or if they're just going to stay on Ray for the rest of this spin-off. I'm good either way, honestly. Not sure what Ray would end up doing next. I mean, he's literally, he's more than 10 times smarter than he used to be, so he can build essentially anything at this point. Actually, I think it'd be interesting if his next task was going after other satellites, figuring out what they're doing, harvesting parts of them to make himself even smarter and bigger and better, and to deal with the damage to the space shuttle itself. Just a thought on that, though. Yeah, let me really think about all that down below. Are you content with continuing to watch Ray do his things? Do you want to see what's going on with Byakuya? Do you think Ray is the Y-Man? Because I'm fairly convinced by this point. Let me think of all that down below. And be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And until then,
peace.